Hello, welcome back to Malicious Compliance Stories. Imagine trying to help a stranger only to be told to mind my business. But before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you're new here and turn on notifications so you don't miss a new video every single day. Alright, let's get started. Our first story. Aw man, that sucks. I'm fishing at the park right now. He walks away, and his pole starts bending over. I didn't see him wherever he went, so I went to set his hook for him and he showed up like a ninja. I didn't catch the fish, and he says, "Bro, just mind your business and leave people's stuff alone." I tell him he's right and apologize and go back to my pole. He gets his line back in the water and disappears again about 15 minutes later, leaving his pole standing up on the back of his chair. His drag clicks a couple times, so I turn to see where he went. This fucker is about 60 yards away. Then I heard it again. Knee. The line is peeling off his reel. I almost piss myself because keepers usually don't bite at 12:30 in the afternoon. I know what's coming, so I put my headphones in and mind my business but give that pole the side eye. Reel reaches the end of the line, and the greatest launch I've ever seen occurs, and the guy just watches it go bye-bye. He does reach us the damned, and, of course, it's too late. He gets my attention, so I take my headphones off and he yells, "Dude, I know you saw my pole getting hit." I asked him where'd it go? "In the fucking water, my St. Croix is gone." I tell him, "Aw man, that sucks. I was over here just minding my business." Our next story. No overtime, but you're not going to switch me to day shift? Okay, boss. This was originally posted as a comment on another thread, but some people said it should be its own post, so here it is. My work, aviation, was in a no OT at all rut for a while in 2021. The bosses were strict with every single minute because the higher-ups were watching the time charging as well to make sure no OT was being clocked. I got a new job within my company that required me to move. I was working second shift, 1400 to 2300 MF, at the time, so when I'd get to work and answer all the HR emails, I would be behind on the checklist I'd have to complete prior to moving. So I did the logical thing and emailed my then supervisor and asked to be transferred to day shift so I could be in the building during the daytime to talk to HR, otherwise I was going to miss my transfer date. My supervisor emails me back and says, "You have a company laptop now, answer those emails from your house. I'm not swapping you to day shift." I responded, "Okay." So I began my day at 0900 so I could email and team chat with various HR reps during the day and then go to work in the afternoon. I logged every minute, and because I was using a company laptop, I was aware that they could see my login activity, so I would have backed up if they claimed I was stealing time. Fast forward a week and the site manager, supervisor's boss, pulls me into his office and wants to know why I have almost 20 hours of OT for the previous week when we aren't allowed any OT. I explained to him that I was given permission from the supervisor. The site manager calls the supervisor in. The supervisor says he gave no such permission. I tell them both about the email response, offer to send it to them and print it up should they need it. My supervisor got as red as a fire truck. The site manager said your OT is approved and kicked me out of the office, asking me to close the door as I left. I received a text message 2 hours later informing me I was to start my day shift immediately. Fuck 'em all. Edit, to clarify some things for those who are questioning the 20 hours of OT dealing with HR. I was being transferred to an international site with my company. So it wasn't just HR I was dealing with. Some of that time was with HR because I was swapping from hourly to salary, some of that time was with legal, briefing on trade agreements, some of that time was the tax consultant briefings, some of that time was with the moving company and coordinating with them a time to come survey my house for pack up, some of that time was spent reviewing documents for my new job as it was a different contract and I needed to be familiar with it since I was dealing with an international customer now. And some of that time was filling out the work visa info to return it to my company so they could process it. The sooner you finish, the sooner you can get a visa. I didn't want to drag out the story with this info and make a super long post, so I simplified it with HR. Additionally, and lastly, my company has a rule for hourly employees, which I was at the time, that if you are required to do any work outside of your normally scheduled shift, you charge 4 hours minimum. So even if it's answering an email outside of those second shift hours I was on, that was 4 extra hours in the day right there. Some have mentioned to me that this rule could be a state law and I'm not sure if it was or not TBH, nor do I care to look into it right now because I'm not in that state anymore lol. I just know it worked to my benefit greatly and, in doing so, I got to stick it to the man. And our last story. Get off the grass. This just happened while I was walking my dog. It had been a rainy and dark night. I was walking my dog down the sidewalk of my street so he could do. Finally, my dog squats on the grass in front of the house. I start fumbling with my umbrella, flashlight, and leash so I can get the poopy bags, plural because my 120-pound dog requires 2 poopy bags for his massive dumps, out of my pocket when all of a sudden I hear a dude's voice from the entryway of the house. "Excuse me, neighbor." Me. Yes. Look up but can't see anyone behind the door. Neighbor. No, thank you. Me. Confused. No, thank you what? Neighbor. Is this your yard? Stupid question. Me. No. Neighbor. Can you get off my grass? My dog stops pooping even though the neighbor didn't see him poop. Me. Yeah, no problem. I'm just going to. Neighbor interrupts me before I can say pick up my dog's poo. Neighbor. Can you get off my yard? Me. You got it, man. So we kept walking. I hope he enjoys the big soggy pile of turd logs tomorrow morning. TLDR, dog took a dump in front of the house, and the neighbor told me to leave before I could pick it up. That's all for this video. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one.